This is a Kirkendall Barrett presentation, darling.
You can touch it if you want.
Ladies, if you want to meet a man, check your storage closet.
Come on, Kendall. Take off your shirt and go camera shopping at Best Buy.
Good shirtless, not bad shirtless.
Yeah.
Well, it was gratuitous.
Yeah, it was.
I like a good grizzled man sometimes.
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Well, hello, everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It is time for another episode of A Lifetime of Hallmark, where we talk about your favorite movies on Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel and try to make sense of them. I am Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett.
And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and hello, Jason Bowers.
Well, I've been with British people all day in Santa Monica
Because today was the big day.
today was the big day.
Coronation Day.
Coronation.
Yeah. Recording this
so-
on Saturday, May 6, 2023.
So my husband, who is British, we got home last night and he passed out, but then woke up at 2 a.m. and kept his ass up watching the coronation.
So he was watching the coronation still probably slightly drunk on tequila from Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, it was a multicultural.
Wow.
Holidays are running into each other.
Right?
You got the Star Wars holiday, the May the 4th, goes to the Cinco de Mayo, that goes to the coronation. You know,
It's also
you-
Kentucky Derby Day.
Right.
Kentucky Derby Day?
Yeah.
What's tomorrow? That's got to be something.
Is that tomorrow? Kentucky Derby?
No, it's today. It was today, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was
It's a big day.
It was an action-packed day.
Sure was.
And so there, I didn't know if you guys were aware of this, but there was a whole large British community in Santa Monica.
I knew that, yeah.
So we went to an English pub in Santa Monica because they were celebrating the coronation. So we had high tea, which was actually very good.
I saw your pictures of John's high tea, and that didn't look like tea.
Yeah, but I saw a picture of Les, giving a look at this dessert. You always say, I like sweets. Les was stigmatized by a cake.
Well,
I don't know
okay,
how that's even possible.
So I didn't know if you saw this or not, but what it actually is, it's a traditional thing because when we go to the UK, they do the same thing. It's literally like a tower. So on the bottom are the sandwiches and the quiches. Mm-hmm. And as it works its way up, the top of the tower is the dessert.
Oh,
You were looking at the top.
So, yeah. But it was good. It was good. It was like a lemon cake.
That looked
Lemon cake
good. Yeah.
and scones and clotted cream. I've kind of acclimatized myself to the British food since I'm there so often.
Yeah. What's your favorite British food?
Oh, God, a shepherd's pie.
Okay.
I love shepherd's pie.
One time I was hanging out with a bunch of British people, and I said, so are you guys still, pissed off about the whole Revolutionary War thing?
Uh-huh.
And they didn't really say anything.
They've probably never heard that joke before, Kurt.
Well, I never heard it before. But ironically, I was probably, because I'm more of an immigrant generation. My people were probably the English people.
Right now, actually, to be quite truthful, and I've told this to my husband, one of the reasons why I didn't wake up and watch it is I was a huge Diana fan. I loved her. Mm-hmm. So
you did it out of protest.
So I'm a little salty.
Oh, okay. But I thought that Camilla has she has a pretty good reputation now. Is that true? No.
I'll keep it to myself.
All right.
I don't want to get canceled.
I'm of the belief that we left that country to come and start a new country. So why are we still deitizing these people that aren't our rulers?
Well, that's true.
They're not really their rulers either.
No.
They're not ruling anything. They're just
they're
kind of
basically
there.
like figureheads at this point.
Yeah.
But so
I think if it makes people happy, I don't know who's paying for all that stuff, but it's not. I don't think it's
country.
me. Yeah, they're paying for all that. Well,
their taxes.
It makes people happy. Yeah, we need a nice thing.
Oh, my!
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah, it's at this point, anything that brings joy, I'm for it. But Prince Harry had to sit. Now, I guess by non-royal standards, he had a good seat. But
well, here's the deal with that. So basically, he sat back with his cousins because I guess like Fergie has two daughters who are around his age, and they all get along really well. So he sat back with them. But in the big scheme of things, it wasn't even really that far back.
It feels like the Coronation's version of the singles table at a wedding.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think he literally showed up, went to it, and he like left and flew.
He did, yeah. He had to fly a commercial flight, I read, to get there. Now, how does that work? Does he have to go through security like everybody else? He has to like wait in line with everybody?
I'm sure he didn't fly economy.
Yeah, he's probably got like global pre-check or whatever they call that.
Yeah.
No, he was on a commercial flight, so he was either in
No, I know, but there's like the global entry and there's the TSA pre-check, which you're going through security, but it's much faster. It's a nicer version of the experience.
Because when you normally go to the UK, in the passport office, it's like why are you here? Da 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 da. Who are you? So I'm sure he didn't have to explain who he was and why he was there.
I guess I don't know. There was. Stuff like that's happened, but he sits in first class, and everybody has to walk through. First class gets seated first. Everybody walks through, and they see Harry sitting there, Prince Harry.
I mean, that's just like when any other person of note is on a flight, you see him right there.
Right.
My boss was on a flight with Pete Buttigieg this week.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Harry's hot anyway.
Yeah.
I like Harry.
Have you ever seen someone of note on a flight, Les?
No one like ultra famous. I've seen like character actors and stuff. No one who I was like, oh my god.
I saw Scott Wolf on one once, like years ago, back when like he was still on Party at 5. So I was like, oh my god, I saw it. It was right there. Scott Wolf.
Scott Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you? And Kurt, you said you haven't.
No, I haven't seen anybody. I don't think.
No,
I don't fly too often though.
I only see like drunk people on planes getting, yelling or fighting or, So, but you know what? I did see royalty last night though, because I saw the wrong Prince Charming.
Night. We should have had him on the podcast to talk about the coronation.
I know, right?
Because he's royalty.
Well, we
do need to get a picture.
He's our version of royalty.
That's true.
The other, like last week, we were out and I ran into Jason. And Jason's like, we should get a picture with him, and we ended up not. We should really get a picture with him.
Yeah, we should. Oh, by the way, I forgot to declare this when we started the podcast today. I've had a very long day at work. I just got home, and my roommate ordered some Indian food, so I ordered some as well. So they're going to interrupt at some point and bring me Indian food in the middle of the podcast, and I apologize, but I'm starving.
That's fine.
It's truly a celebration.
I'm actually watching
putting Indian stuff on his face.
Oh, I'm moisturizing.
You're
moisturizing? We're really multitasking today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm going out later.
Yeah.
But Indian food. I watched Indian matchmaking today or this week. It was very good on Netflix.
Indian matchmaking?
Mm-hmm. It's about this matchmaker named Seema who matches Indian couples in the U.S. And so when that finishes, there's another show on Netflix called Jewish Matchmaking. So then I'm going to watch that.
The Indian one, is that on Zeus TV?
No, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And it's season and you know how Netflix's shows don't make it that long. This is actually on season 3. So
Wow.
for Netflix, that's like MASH or something.
Okay.
MASH.
Man, I was reading up on Jamie Farr today too.
How is Jamie Farr?
Isn't it bizarre how we have these weird segues?
this took a
He's doing
turn.
like an autograph convention.
Uh-huh.
And somebody posted a picture of him in the movie Blackboard Jungle. I was like, he was in that? And he was.
Really?
It was like 1955. It was like the very first thing he did. And there's Jamie Farr. He's like one of the students in Blackboard Jungle.
Wow.
With Vic Morrow and Sidney Poitier, I think. Sidney
Oh,
Poitier.
so he's like
Yeah.
the last
He's really-
surviving person.
You know,
Well,
my friend
all our young listeners out there, all you Vic Morrow fans,
my
I'm
friend
sure you're enjoying that bit.
my
Yeah,
friend
he's one of-
What, you okay?
I kept every time I would like start to talk because of the delay, one of you would start to talk and it was
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll be quiet. I didn't know there's a delay.
No, I'm not
Okay.
telling you to be quiet. I'm just saying the delay sometimes trips us up when we're trying to talk.
I can't see you. We can't see you.
Oh, that is true. You don't have the
Yeah, we
visual-
can't see you. It's like Charlie's Angels.
I can't see you.
cameras off.
I will say,
Seriously,
as
like
we're
Charlie's
reading,
Angels.
this was I was delighted because the movie we watched was a very heterosexual movie. Finally, there were scantily clad women. Finally,
baby
Yeah.
voices, a lot of baby
Oh,
voices.
so many baby voices in this movie. You know who
guys don't
doesn't have
get
a
it.
baby voice
I
less?
had to watch so many movies with guys taking their shirt off for no reason.
It's never for no reason.
No,
So we
it's
finally got
never
to see
for
a
no
movie.
reason. It moves the plot
Yeah.
along.
With these women who were very attractive, little on the trashy side. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
They were.
They had him in these. They had him in these like hot. Oh, believe me, I'm not complaining. They had him in these hot outfits. I was like, man, this is going to be the most heterosexual show we've had since our own Jason Bowers admitted to making out with a woman during Ernest Saves Christmas.
we were in high school.
Still, that was a radically heterosexual story, and now it's probably our second heterosexual episode.
I gotta tell you, I actually, because I told you guys, you know, my commentary was that the actors in this movie went to the Park Ranger School of Dramatic Arts.
Mhm.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
That's not possible. This trail's been closed for 8 years. It's extremely dangerous.
But considering that, I actually ended up liking this movie.
I didn't hate it.
Like, it wasn't, like, you know, it wasn't the best movie we've watched, but it didn't suck either.
No.
was
Like I
entertained.
wasn't angry at you for making us watch this. Unlike
was
the last
entertained.
Lifetime one we did.
Right.
And I once again apologize for that. You know, but yeah, so this was like entertaining,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, but I guess before we get into it, do you have any artists formerly known as Blac Chyna news?
Doing a piece of China.
China.
I'm talking China.
Blac Chyna report. Here's Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, this article is actually from a month ago, but we haven't really covered this yet. It's from BuzzFeed. This is where Blac Chyna explained what happened after she got her butt augmentation reversed.
Oh, good one.
Angela Blac Chyna White is in the middle of a self-transformation, and it's been completely life-changing for her. Over the course of the past few months, Angela has gotten many of her plastic surgery procedures reversed and recently got a demonic tattoo removed. I've had a lot of procedures done. This is my 5th boob job. I've had liposuction 3 times. I've had fillers. I've had butt augmentation, Angela recently told Access Hollywood. And as she's gotten back to her roots, Angela says she's realized just how dangerous some of those procedures were. Back when she was just 18, she received illegal silicone injections in her butt. And the surgery wasn't even performed by a real doctor. This is a regular person that's doing it. They're getting whatever it is substance that they're doing and giving it to you, Angela explained. She continued, they're not going to tell you, hey, you could possibly die. Looking back, the consequences of her butt augmentation could have been much more serious, although she did struggle with concerning health issues for years. my rear end would get super inflamed. And it was, and it would get really, really hard and really hot. It was very scary, she said. After an 8-hour surgery, Angela was free of injections in her butt. And she also says she likes the way she looks now. I see beauty. I see wisdom. I see myself. I feel good about it, too, Angela concluded.
Aww. Well, there is, the getting the illegal implants or like that was actually a thing.
Yeah, I know.
And wasn't it? Who was it? It was, I forget what celebrity it was, but it turned out to be some kind of like cement stuff or something. And yeah, there, somebody, yeah, there, a lot of people.
I don't know if any celebs, but I know on the show Pose that was a storyline of these people that were transitioning, and they would do that because they couldn't afford the real ones.
Yeah. And wasn't it like Lisa Rinna or someone like that had something similar in her lips or something? Like it, so it's a total thing.
Would not know about that.
There was a whole article that I found, a more recent article, where Blac Chyna is kind of featured in it, but they talk about fillers and removing fillers. It gets into like all the details about what it really all involves.
Oh yeah,
the nuts and bolts of it.
But I've seen a lot of pictures of her actually after the removal of all of her
looks great.
Accessories, and she looks great. She really does.
She does.
Yeah.
She really does.
I keep seeing, maybe I shouldn't say this, because if I say the person's name, I'm part of the problem, but they've been posting pictures of a certain actress.
Who?
Well, it's Meg Ryan, but it's not my fault.
Yeah.
They keep posting these pictures.
Picture of her yesterday.
Did you see that picture? It's a picture with her, Michael J. Fox, and his
that's
wife.
the one. That's the one.
Tracy Pollan. Did you notice anything about their body language in that picture? Michael J. Fox almost has his hand.
And Meg Ryan.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox looks really chummy with Meg Ryan.
Well, she was leaning in, like they were leaning in, like she was leaning in.
That's probably a result of like, because of the MS. Everyone's probably taking extra care when they're talking to him, so they're probably much more touchy-feely and just kind of looking directly in his eyes, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's not MS. It's Parkinson's.
And don't get me wrong.
Oh, Parkinson's.
I love
Sorry,
Meg Ryan. I've always loved Meg Ryan. I love a good Meg Ryan movie. I think I've seen them all. But,
I was looking
she's
at
done some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that picture and I was like, I wonder if they got a little bit of an open marriage. I wonder if he's getting away with that.
Well,
but no, I don't know.
Is she still with John Mellencamp?
Huh?
Is she still with John Mellencamp?
No, they broke up.
Oh, okay.
No, they broke up.
But I don't know. I was just looking at the bottom. But as you said, yeah, that could just be like leaning into each other. But she was kind of like holding his hand, and his hand was almost kind of like hidden away. It was like, what's going on?
And didn't he make
His wife's still hot too.
I was reading something. Didn't he make a statement or something saying, I don't have a lot of time, like I don't have a lot of time left, or something in that?
I hadn't heard that. There was a quote that came out this week, I want to say, something along the lines, like basically acknowledging that he's really not going to be acting much anymore, if at all. So
We've heard
maybe
that before.
was...
The quote that Les is talking about is he said he doesn't think he's going to live to be 80.
Because I knew it was something like that. Yeah. It was.
I almost cried. I was thinking about Michael J. Fox. I was driving and like I almost cried. I hear myself. I hear my voice. Because I was thinking about it. Because you can see Michael J. Fox. This can't really. He can't continue like this for a whole lot longer. I don't think. He's getting worse and worse. Because of course that's the way that disease is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sad thing. He's amazing though. He's an amazing guy.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. I wonder if he's going to do like one more big gig before he like retired, because he's eventually gonna have to retire.
Yeah, I mean, I think he basically is. I mean, like the work that he has done in the past few years, it's something that he can kind of pop in for like a day and that's it. Because they don't know, he doesn't know when he wakes up if he's gonna have a good day or a bad day.
But like, who, you know, I guess I'm at that age. Who knew that we'd be talking about, like, you know, Bruce Willis having dementia and, like, you know, Michael J. Fox being ill? It's like, are we that old now?
Kind of.
That's why some people, these people, like, you look at someone like Dolly Parton, and it's like, yeah, she works her ass off, but she's lucky too, because, you know, you could get hit with any of these things.
Yeah, I mean,
Dolly Parton is a saint.
Yeah, and you've got, you know, Carol Burnett and Dick Van Dyke still in their 90s, still out
Willie
there
Nelson.
doing stuff. Yeah,
they're lucky.
Yeah, Willie Nelson played a concert at the Hollywood Bowl on his 90th birthday.
And they're genuinely lucky. Yeah, because I got people in my family, they're not making it to 90.
And I have a friend who went to that concert, who flew here from Washington, D.C., and Keith Richards showed up.
Of course.
And was performing.
Yeah. Keith Richards probably didn't know that it wasn't a Rolling Stones concert.
Yeah, he's an anomaly.
And that, like, my takeaway from that is there's no rhyme or reason to it.
No,
there isn't.
Because it's not like Willie Nelson led a healthy lifestyle. No, but
Like, we've all known people. I'm definitely one of them where we came really close to things not going well.
Yeah.
I did.
You luck out. Yeah.
That was like one of the reasons why I stopped drinking, is because I was having stomach pains and I thought that it was like food poisoning, or because I had got, this is back when I had like a regular job, like a 9-to-5 job. Mm-hmm. And there was a huge convention that my office went to and everybody got salmonella. So I just thought I had salmonella, and it turned out that I fucking had a tumor that they thought was cancerous. It ended up being benign, but, you know.
Wow.
The doctor was like, I'm shocked, you know, as opposed to, you know, my grandfather who drank and smoked and ate red meat. And he died at 99, like 3 months before his 100th birthday.
Yeah.
But he smoked?
Oh, he
smoked
did
cigarettes?
everything. Drank, smoked cigarettes.
But did he smoke cigarettes up to when he was 99, or did he stop at some point before that?
He stopped in his 90s. He stopped driving at like 94. So he was, you know, he was hitting on women until the end.
Because most people smoking cigarettes, that doesn't work out. It
Yeah.
seems like you could do everything else. You can get away with everything else, but the cigarettes is the one thing that kind of consistently ends people.
Yeah, so it's like you don't know. You
Just
don't know.
Here we are.
Well, I guess let's
200 episodes.
Right. I know. I forgot. Oh, that's right.
I think we are well past 200. Where did you get that figure from, Kurt?
No, the Podbean sent me a message, and I.
But Podbean deleted a bunch of our old episodes, so we're definitely beyond 200. Yeah, we hit that. I think we've even talked about it on this podcast.
Yeah, that's great, because Podbean sent an email. Congratulations on 200 episodes.
Like the honeymooners, we have lost episodes.
Yeah. Right. The lost episode of a lifetime.
I've been on this thing for 5.5 years with you guys.
Serious?
Wow.
So that's why I think it's more than 200.
Probably.
Yeah, probably is.
I'm gonna look into this.
I don't. Yeah, I guess so. There's 52 weeks in a year. I don't know.
Probably. Well,
anyway, here we are.
This is going to be the year that I publicize the hell out of this podcast, because I'm going on a tour.
Yes.
And I'm putting it in my programs, because some of the programs I get like the playbill, like the legit programs, and I'm putting it in there.
Perfect.
We have a podcast.
Perfect.
Lifetime of Hallmark. Anywho, I guess we better start talking about this, because I got to go out
rooming?
later.
Yeah.
Rooming with danger?
Rooming with danger.
Bunch of hot, trashy women in hot outfits.
baby voices.
That's the only reason
Yeah, tell me about
I'm
baby
signing
voices.
off.
I must like this.
Well,
baby voice
the
thing.
reason why the baby voice thing is uncomfortable for me to watch is generally when a woman speaks at that sort of like their voice hasn't progressed into adulthood, that
Go on.
generally means some sort of abuse happened to them.
Oh, I don't think. all right,
No, I'm not
maybe
making
you
that
think-
up. That's like an actual thing.
Well, all right.
Because, the one
That's
girl,
not what I was thinking.
because baby voice is like when Angelina was talking like this and she said, Gabby, Marco won't leave me alone.
Yeah.
And then Gabby would say, well, you can live at my house, Angelina, until, we can move. And that's how their voices were.
It reminded me
But
a
I
little
would-
bit of the porn star sketch that they used to do on SNL with I think it was Vanessa what's her name? Vanessa Bayer and Cecily Strong, and I think Kate McKinnon maybe. They just sound like the the porn stars.
And I
No,
guess
they're-
so.
Yeah, but they need they need a man to take care of them.
Oh, and let's get into this because
Let's do it.
I don't
know.
like
I must
I
like
don't
this
like
baby voice.
that take on things at all, Kurt.
I'm talking about just like providing for
Characters?
them.
Okay.
Jesus.
well, because there was a sexist man in this movie. So we
No.
start off.
Yeah, that's what I mean by taking care of.
We're at the beach. We're in LA.
The rooming with danger on Lifetime.
Yes, rooming with danger.
Yeah, it is.
And we had something that we haven't had in months. We had a cold open.
Yes. I think this might have been an acquisition, though, because there was no black hoodie. And normally
one.
the movies that take place in Los Angeles like this did, the establishing shots are like big, like stock footage, aerial shots of like downtown LA or Santa Clarita. And this didn't have those.
Yeah. But yeah, so we see a beach, we see a woman, she's looking at the ocean, and then we have a flashback, and she's having a fight with her roommate, and they're arguing, and the roommate says, you need to stop using your dead sister as an excuse. And then she says, I'm glad I don't have you as a sister. And that set the other woman off, and she stabbed her.
A pair of
And
scissors.
she said, don't ever talk about my sister. And that was our cold open.
Yeah.
Now this was directed by a woman. I thought it was directed by a man. It was written by a man.
I could see it. I could see how it was directed by a woman, because some of the, like, even just the way that they related to each other, the two friends, and I could see that. I could totally see that.
Okay.
Because one of the things that we don't see a lot in these movies is like the friendship between Angelina, who was the main woman, and Gabby. It was actually a legit, genuine friendship.
Yes. And had they not been played by graduates of the Park Ranger School of Acting, we may have even seen it, the bond, a little more strongly on screen.
Yeah, because later in the movie, Gabby does Angelina like a really cool solid, I thought, which we'll get to. But so we see a guy, and he's standing in front of a huge house, and these two girls are fighting with a guy. One of the women is moving out, and she's leaving her boyfriend. Now, okay, was Marco cute, Jason?
Marco's the friend of the guy or the main
No,
guy?
Marco's the guy
Oh,
that she was leaving.
He wasn't, I wouldn't say he's cute, but he's hot.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
The other guy was both.
Thank you, because I was having just conflicting, is he cute? Is he not cute? Is it just that he's hot? Is it what's going on?
Well, here we go again. When I mentioned there are attractive women here, you guys are like, oh, they got baby voice. They were abused. It's like, come on.
Oh, he was no walk in the park.
Oh no, he's probably got like
I can't have any fun.
At least the character certainly had some sort of abuse in his childhood. That's why he's an abuser. But I'm not even talking about the characters. I'm talking about the actresses. The actresses sort of naturally spoke with baby voice, which generally indicates some level of abuse in their childhood.
All right, I didn't know that. I'll have to read up about that.
And actually, the characterizations of these characters, as you mentioned, Jason, that kind of saved the baby voice from like making them complete non-actors, if that makes any sense.
If that had been an actor that didn't have a baby voice and they made the choice to do baby voice, it makes sense for this for these movies, for this particular movie rather.
So, and I wrote here, Marco must have had a lot of money because she was really young. Like, Marco looked like he was in his 40s easily. And she looked like she was like 22.
Yeah.
And so there was another guy waiting outside who was Diego, who I initially thought was Gabby's boyfriend until we were informed that he wasn't later.
Yeah. He's her coworker.
He works with Gabby.
Yeah,
coworker.
And he was hot. He was hot AF hot.
Yeah,
he was smoking hot.
Yeah.
I thought he was like the director hired their personal trainer for a role.
He could train me.
Maybe he got called in.
So he's like yelling at Marco. Oh, his name was
Diego.
Diego.
Yeah.
So Diego comes in and he's yelling at Marco, and we find out that Gabby and Angelina have been friends since high school. And they leave, they get her out of there, and Gabby's like, don't go back to him this time. You know how you can get. You're coming to my house, and ignore his texts and just stay away from him. Mm-hmm. So then we go back to another house, and it's our lady from the cold open, Bianca, and she's burning her dead roommate's stuff.
Yeah. She's having like a bonfire up on the roof of the house.
Yes. And then we cut back to Gabby's house. Angelina's looking at herself in the mirror. She has a bruise. That's where I took he was totally abusive.
I actually didn't even see the bruise. I started looking at her shoulder, but I didn't understand why that was happening. So that was a bruise? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see it either.
And then Marco starts texting her, like, I know you're awake. And he's harassing her. And then they hear a noise from outside.
It's big loud thud.
Yeah. So he's like throwing shit at their house.
He threw a brick, but not at a window. He threw it at the door.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it makes an impact.
And I like this because Gabby was like, and I think that's why, because Gabby was irritated, kind of like, you idiot. Come on, you're going to throw it at the door? Why are you even, how dumb are you?
This is what I think happened. I think this movie was probably like self-financed, like with a group of actor friends or something like that. And one of them is really rich and probably lives in that house where they were filming. And it was in the script that like he throws a brick through the window because that makes a lot more sense and is more dramatic on film. And then they get there and the homeowner's like, you're not throwing a fucking brick through my window for the shot. Like,
right.
Throw it to something else.
You're not breaking my window.
Yeah. That probably is what happened. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They had to accommodate.
So we go back to Bianca's house. She's making coffee, and we see a picture of two little girls. And then she's talking to her cat. Bianca's talking to her cat, Delilah, and she's like, oh, well, Delilah, out with the old, in with the new. I guess I better find another roommate. and she sets up an
That cat.
ad for a new roommate.
Yeah.
So then we
That
see
cat should have responded, like the
Right.
son of Sam.
Why are you speaking in a baby voice?
the cat was like, meow meow.
The cat of Sam.
By the way, speaking of cats, did you hear the interview with Doja Cat at the Met Gala?
No.
No.
So the theme of the Met Gala was Karl Lagerfeld,
Oh, I did see some of this.
and he had his cat. He had a cat. So some people came to the Met Gala dressed as cats. One of them was Doja Cat, and so Doja Cat was being interviewed, and she literally meowed through the whole interview and did not utter one word.
Good.
I would have remembered that.
Good.
It just meowed through the whole thing.
I'm gonna find this interview and send it to Brad because you know that's like the meowing is
Seriously,
our thing.
no, you and Brad will love this
Yeah.
interview.
I'd like that too. I want to see that.
It's amazing. Like Doja Cat literally for 5 minutes just meowed. And you could tell that the interviewer was getting very uncomfortable. But
Let me see this.
Well, good
But
for her
Doja
for
Cat
sticking to the theme. I liked Jared Leto's cat that he wore like a big furry get up and it was just
Yeah.
gigantic. He's carrying the head around, and the head had the most lifelike eyes that I've ever seen for a furry like animal head. Creepy.
it's funny. I was listening to this show and they were doing commentary and they saw the cat before the mask was off and they were like, this has to be Jared Leto. And it ended up being Jared Leto.
Yeah.
They're like,
I'm
oh,
trying to
Jared
find
Leto
it.
would do something like that.
Trying to
But
find
yeah,
this
the
on
Doja-
YouTube. I got it.
What?
Yeah, I got here. Doja Cat meows all over the red carpet. It's
Yes, it's
like a little
amazing.
news piece, though.
Wow.
That's
It's amazing.
Oh, here we go. So,
Are you going to play it?
yeah.
Hello.
Meow.
Meow. That could be Doja Cat. We don't know.
Right?
Let's just go.
Kurt, we can't hear it.
We can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is
Sorry
it playing
about
right into your own headphones?
that. Yeah, I was listening to it. Oh, well, that was weird. I should edit that out.
That's all right.
It was a YouTube video I was just watching. They're just answering. What you were just talking about. They're asking her questions.
Yeah.
She just meows. Yeah.
That made me love Doja Cat. I love Doja Cat now.
It's kind of a little weird. Yeah, she's like made up like a cat. Like they made her face
Yeah.
up like a cat.
Yeah.
I mean, if any artist is going to go to that thing, the Met Gala, and the theme is Karl Lagerfeld, and if he's known for having a cat, like she's the person to do it.
Right.
Cat's literally in her stage name.
Right. Well, Doja Cat leaned in.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Bianca's roommate. Okay. Oh, so Bianca's roommate hunting. We cut to Angelina.
She's at work.
She's at work. We find out she's a counselor.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? She is a suicide prevention counselor. This woman with the baby voice that seems very young.
Yeah.
And has been in this abusive relationship and keeps going back. She is counseling people in their lives.
Well,
Is
they
that
say
weird?
therapists
Or am I
aren't necessarily
being
sane.
am I being kind of a bitch for thinking that's fucked up?
No, because it is.
Okay.
I know, but she can have empathy.
She can, but I don't know that. I mean, I guess she could do that job, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's good at it. But
don't they say that there are people out there who are better at giving other people advice than running their own lives?
yeah, it's those that can't do teach, I guess. It just
Right.
seemed like an odd detail that sort of ran counter to what's going on in her character's life otherwise.
And you know what? Later in this movie, we discover the one who should have been a therapist was Bianca.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So,
Well, she helps this kid out at least.
Yeah.
yeah. So, and the kid, I like how, you know, it's definitely a generational thing. She gives him advice and he's like, I'm going to write that in my phone. So then Gabby is, Marco is harassing Gabby. And
he shows up on Gabby's lawn. So Gabby's like walking to her car, and Gabby had it must have just been like the actress is sort of green and trying to hit her mark and didn't know how to do it, and she was doing it in heels. But her walk was so weird, and I wish people listening could see this at home. But she literally was like walking towards the car, and it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so almost like bouncing, like she was on a pogo stick on each foot.
She was like prancing.
Yeah.
It's hard to hit those marks sometimes.
Yeah.
And I love it too because she's like, and Marco, stop throwing bricks at our door.
Yeah.
Well, he said he's going to take an anger management class.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's taking one.
Yeah, well, it's not working. So, so then Angelina goes online, start looking for roommates. And she sends a message to Bianca. And we find out that Angelina, she just graduated from college. She's a youth counselor, and she's allergic to cats. And so,
she unloads her cat, which I think was terrible.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
That was my.
And they never bring. I thought the cat was going to like come back at the end and save the day. We never see the cat anymore.
Or I thought what she was gonna do is she was gonna like put the cat outside, but then once things started going south in that roommate relationship, she would like put the cat on her bed. Or
that would have been smart.
To, like,
yes,
make her break out.
Because it like I bet you if Lifetime had produced this movie, that they would have had to resolve the cat thing in a more compassionate way than she just lets the cat go. Because then you like that affects advertising revenue. That affects like you might not get, you know, Purina to advertise on your movie.
And also, cats are the type of animal that even if you like do that, the cat's not going to leave. The cat will stay around the house.
Oh yeah.
You know, the cat. That's how my husband had a. When we first met, he had a cat, and it was a situation where like the neighbors put the cat out, and so he took the cat in.
Do you think that Doja Cat is following that reporter around?
Yeah. She's hanging outside the house.
Hanging out like, feed me, meow, meow, meow.
Meow.
Meow. So Angelina comes over. She's looking at the art. She's liking the art. She's liking the way that the apartment's decorated. Bianca's like, well, my roommate like left all of her stuff and she ditched me.
She put a book out about Seattle.
Yeah.
Because she had seen that Angelina had recently taken a trip to Seattle.
Yeah.
So she found some Seattle book.
Yeah. Angelina had taken a trip to Seattle and said that she loved it. And so
no, she didn't tell her. What's her face? Bianca went like Facebook stalking her or whatever and saw some post about how. Oh no, I guess she sent photos along. She sent photos along and said Seattle's her favorite city.
On like her Facebook or whatever page, she said like she loved it.
Yeah.
So she left out some book about like grunge music in 1991.
I thought Angelina was a monster though in her message that she did send Bianca because it said, hello, my name is Angelina and I'm a Los Angeles native. I graduated from LA Palms. I'm allergic to cats. I work as a suicide prevention counselor for disadvantaged youth. I'm also neat, quiet, and clean. Why do I think she's a monster? No Oxford comma.
Ooh.
I hate when people don't use that comma before the word and when you're doing a list of things. That is a huge faux pas to me.
Ooh, she's a monster.
She's a monster.
And then we find out
Harsh.
that so she's talking to Angelina. We were talking. Bianca says that she moved from San Francisco, they're talking. Bianca tells Angelina she's a designer, and then like there's like design stuff and fabric and like mannequins and stuff all around the room. And Bianca tells Angelina that, you know, she had a little sister, and Angelina's like filling her in, telling her how she works with trauma patients. And she was like, you know, I have this client recently where she's a young lady who watched her father kill her mother. And Bianca gets like a look like, you know.
They're having this conversation in this like, you know, area where she does her design. It's kind of like open concept where the kitchen's like right there too. And so in the background, sort of like by the entryway to the house, did you notice that there was a gigantic like glass wine closet that was completely empty?
I did not know.
It was like a giant wall of where wine bottles would normally be, and a feature you would put in a very fancy house if you really like wine, yet it was completely empty.
I did not notice that. Oh, okay. So Angelina, it goes back to Gabby's house.
What's that, Kurt?
Oh no, I was going to say she really wanted to know more about this murder situation, the mother that was murdered. You know,
yeah.
She's like, how did she get murdered? How'd she get murdered? What she did?
Right.
Oh, she her wording of it was pretty fucked up because she said, "What did she do?" Meaning, like, what did she do to piss off the husband to get herself killed? Right. That was the implication. Yeah. It was fucked up.
Angelina was a little uncomfortable, you know, in that situation.
So then Angelina goes back to Gabby's house and tells Gabby she's moving out. Gabby's like, you don't have to move out. Why are you moving out? And then Angelina was like, well, Marco, I don't want him to know where I live. And he knows that I'm staying with you. So I'm just going to get away and go to somewhere new where he can't find me.
And then Gabby says, oh, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but he stopped by the house today. Like, Gabby, you're her best friend, and you know that this guy is basically stalking her, and she's afraid of him. You weren't going to tell her that he showed up at the house again?
Right.
You're an asshole.
Right.
It would be a real buzzkill.
Like, wouldn't you warn your best friend that the person that you are trying to avoid has been coming to the place where you are currently living? You wouldn't want to warn them so they can protect themselves?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At least give them a hint.
So,
somebody stopped by today.
So then we see Bianca like getting rid of stuff and throwing it in the ocean.
It was the body.
I wrote here a little note. I'm a little worried because we haven't seen a hoodie yet.
No, she was wearing a gray, like dark gray hoodie, but it definitely wasn't in the Lifetime wheelhouse. Yeah,
it's got to be black.
What was she throwing in the ocean?
The body. She hadn't disposed of the body yet.
Her old roommate.
She threw the body in the ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the fish and stuff will eat the body.
Well, they would, except for the fact that she threw it over while it was still in a body bag or garment bag or whatever.
I'm horrified by the polluting of the ocean.
I'm gonna murder you, but I'm gonna like leave cleanup be really easy for whoever finds you. You're in a body bag already.
No, you get them out of the bag. You take out all their clothes, take off all their clothes, throw them in the water, and then like a swordfish will eat it or something.
Because I was watching some movie, I forget what movie it was, but someone like threw a body bag into like a lake or the ocean, and then later, like a few days later, the body bag like came back up to the surface.
Yeah, it probably floats. Rejected. Whatever it's made of is probably, you know, a material that floats.
And also the human body, there's like gases and things that escape too. And so like it caused the body bag to come back up.
Okay.
It propelled up. You throw body bags, you got shipwrecks in there. This ocean's not going to last.
I just like that Bianca was showing the house with the dead body still there. Like, oh, so this There's
Does it
nothing
smell?
in this wine closet here, but this other closet over here with the really big stench coming from it,
Right.
let's not go in there. That one's completely full of things.
Yeah,
Jason,
sorry
you
about
watched Pose, right?
Yeah.
So you remember the one character who had the body in their closet?
Yes.
And they would just put like car deodorizer,
Mhm.
and then body ended up being in their closet for years,
Yeah.
like a couple of years. I missed that show.
Yeah.
I loved Pose. Oh, anyway, so Angelina is moving in. Gabby's helping her. Bianca starts snooping, which I see nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
like the
snooping.
minute
There's a lot of
Angelina
snooping.
sets like one of her like boxes down or whatever, she walks outside to get some more, and Bianca immediately just starts rooting through shit. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
One of the cardboard boxes on the boxes says Grandma's teacup.
Sounds like a sex act.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, and so then Bianca is telling so then Gabby gets like a weird vibe from Bianca immediately.
Yeah.
She's like, I guess she's a lifetime trope, the sassy friend who sees through it all. And then Bianca is telling Angelina that she inherited a lot of money when her parents died.
I see dead people.
And yeah, Gabby is just on to her. But then we see Bianca, and she's already getting jealous of Gabby and Angelina's friendship.
Well, it's because oh no, that's the very next scene where this happens.
So Bianca gives Angelina a bracelet, like a welcome to the house bracelet.
Have you ever
And-
given a roommate, if you've ever had roommates, have you ever given a roommate a welcome for moving in gift?
Like beer.
That's not a gift. I mean, I guess it's a gift to some people. But that's I don't know. That's
When was the last time? The last time I had a roommate? That was a long time ago.
and not just like in this case, a roommate you didn't know before they like applied to live with you. It's not like it'd be different if Gabby were giving her something because Gabby's her best friend. Like, oh, I'm so
Right.
glad to have you living here. Here's something special. But it's like she doesn't even know her. She's like, here, have this piece of jewelry.
Have a bracelet. And then Angelina starts telling Bianca about the breakup. Bianca's, sympathizing. Angelina's mom calls, and this plotty, I like this a lot.
Same.
Angelina's mom calls and is like, "Oh, Angelina, Mario is going to propose to you because I gave your grandma's wedding ring to him." And Angelina is like flipping out because she hadn't told her mom what was going on yet in her relationship. And now Marco had like this valuable heirloom.
Yeah, the grandma's ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's telling Bianca, "Oh shit, my mom she's like, I didn't want my mom to know what was going on because I didn't want to worry her, so I just made her think that everything was fine. And now Marco has my grandma's ring," and Bianca's like, "I'll get it back for you."
Yeah, this was a great detail. It felt real. It felt like this had to have happened as somebody in the life of the people making this movie.
Right.
Messed up.
So later, Angelina comes downstairs and she admires this jacket that Bianca made, and Bianca's like, "You can have it." And we'll, this is just kind of, we'll mark the moment. This is just like a welcome.
It's a handmade leather jacket, and she has Angelina try it on. And when she said she gave it to her, Angelina's like, no, like this is like, you're a new designer, you're trying to get this out there. And she's like, "Oh, it's fine. I've got 500 to get rid of."
Right.
Wait, so she just designed this and had it mass produced, and she's just got those sitting in a warehouse somewhere?
Right.
Wow.
So
I have it. Somebody said you sent me an angel.
Oh,
Was that said by anybody there?
She was talking about Angelina. She was
Sent me an angel.
Bianca was talking about Angelina? I don't remember that line.
And said, you sent me an angel.
Oh. Who's she talking to?
God.
Oh, is that when she was sticking the baby monitor under Angelina's bed?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's happening now,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which, I like how they're bringing the tropes back. We didn't have a video camera, but we had a baby monitor.
No little camera, no. She gets a baby monitor.
Not only that, but it actually was hidden. It wasn't like in plain sight. A gigantic camera with a crew all around it. It was like she actually hid it under Angelina's bed.
Well, recording, so it's not like there was a boom mic on the ceiling.
Like I picture a Lifetime movie now. They've got the quote unquote hidden camera, and like there's a whole crew there, and there's people picketing for the writers' strike.
Right.
Why is the WGA in my bedroom?
Well, this is a professional set. We're using professional sound and video equipment here.
So
I got the baby
tells Angelina that, I like your hair would look good up. And Angelina was like, well, I didn't wear it up because Marco hated it like that. But she goes back upstairs and she's looking at herself in the mirror and putting her hair up. And, but before she did that, Bianca's like, well, let's take a selfie with you in the jacket. And Angelina's like, well, no. Well, she's like, do it, but don't put it on social media because I don't want Marco to find me. Mm-hmm. And then the baby monitor happens. Then Angelina is humming and she's listening, and Bianca's listening to Angelina hum. And she's putting her hair up in the mirror and seeing how she looks with her hair up. So then the next day, Angelina is jogging.
She's running along Venice Beach towards Marina Del Rey.
Yeah. And then she's...
This is my favorite thing to happen in the entire movie. And it's such a small, dumb thing that I noticed, but it made me laugh so much. As she's running, she's like by this volleyball court, and so there's like on the sand there's a volleyball court, and there are these like kids just sort of running around playing, and whoever did the sound or did the Foley work for this movie, or the what do they call it, the background? No, like what do they call that with the loop group? So like in movies, they have this thing called a loop group where you've got the main sound going on in the foreground, which are like your actors. But like if they've got extras and stuff, they'll loop that sound in later with like an actual team of actors to fill in like ambient noise, but might seem to make sense for the scene. And the kids on the sand on a beach playing volleyball kept yelling, Marco Polo.
They were?
Yes.
You pay deep attention to
I
this
just
movie.
I caught it. It was like, I thought, I was like, did I just hear that? And then I heard it like 3 more times.
Marco Polo.
What the hell? You know what they did? They got like existing, like they didn't record anything new.
I don't know. Might have been like a student project or something.
So Angelina told Bianca, well, I talked to Marco, and Marco says, if I bring back the keys to the house, he'll give me my ring back. And Bianca...
Even funnier that they... Like, the character of Marco is in this movie. That's even funnier that they put that in there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they did it.
Like a foreshadowing sort of a thing.
That's really strange.
But like she's calling Marco on the phone, like as they're saying Marco Polo. Like it was too meta.
So
bizarre.
So Bianca is like, well, I'll come with you because that's what sisters do. Mm-hmm. Which I don't think Angelina, like it dawned on Angelina that something was weird because you know how sometimes they're like sister. So
Bianca had made a face almost like, oh, wait, I shouldn't have said that word, but too late. I'm just going to play it off.
So they go to the house, to Marco's house, and it was like one of those doorbells. And what I noticed, they hit the doorbell and the doorbell went ding dong. But it's one of those doorbells that goes bling bling bling. It's like one of those doorbells that has like a video camera.
Okay.
And the noise is normally like ding ding ding. But they dubbed it with like a regular ding dong.
All right, I didn't follow that.
I didn't notice that either. But if that's is that like a Ring camera has a specific noise?
Yeah.
If they might actually own the copyright on that noise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, that's for people
the
who
trademark,
copyrights
yeah.
Ring.
Because like you'll notice if people are using Apple products on TV, for instance, and there's like certain specific ringtones in there, some of them are copywritten and they won't use them on TV.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So wait, so this is okay. So did I hear this right? When they walk in, did Marco say, "You're much prettier now than the gun she brought the last time"?
I couldn't understand what he said, and I think I tried to listen to it another time, but I couldn't make it out. I guess I could have put on the.
Oh, I
Closed
think
captions,
what he said was something like, "Oh, you're much prettier than the girl she brought last time." In other words, like trying to make this guy out to be a creep for like, "Hey, I'm trying to get back with you, Angelina, but I'm also hitting on your friend that you brought."
But it was like really garbled, and I was like,
Yeah, it was.
because that's why it's like, did he say gun or what did he say?
No,
I think he probably said
he could have
girl.
said gun.
I think he probably said girl.
So then he's like, the house is a mess. I'm sorry, but the house wasn't that much of a mess.
No,
it wasn't.
And he kept on saying, my house is so messy. I've been working overtime. I've been working the night shift. And then this is where I wrote again the note, is it just me or is Marco cute? Or is he not cute?
Oh, wait.
But then
He did say gun, actually. He did say gun because he has a gun with him. I think he was talking to the gun. Because it was before the women walked in the room.
No, he said something to Bianca. He said something to the effect that you're prettier than. I guess he was indicating she was prettier than Gabby. I think that's what was going on.
I don't know.
okay, because I knew it was something. And so then, okay, oh shit, what happens next? My notes are mixed up.
So we find out that Marco works for one of the biggest ambulance providers on the West Coast. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a weird detail. And then he's like giving her the ring, but then he gets down on one knee and starts to propose to her.
That's lame.
Right.
She says no. Bianca kind of steps in like, hey, dude, she just wants the ring back. Let's go. And then Marco has just snaps, has a meltdown, pulls a gun out and threatens him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they run, and he's not even chasing them.
No.
But they're running out of there like it's like somebody is hot on their heels.
But then it was a gun. And she's like, oh my God, he's like crazy.
Yep. They get in the car and leave. They did not get that ring.
Oh, okay. And then Bianca was like, I'm going to call the police.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm going to call, and she's like, I'm going to call
That's
the
when
police.
he gets the gun.
And he like calls her bluff. He's like, well, call him. And I wrote, this is very methy behavior.
Where was Angelina's accent from? In addition to the baby voice, there was some sort of accent. It reminded me of The Room.
It was an accent of the Playboy Mansion.
It was like a very nondescript sort of Eastern European-ish maybe accent, aka or in a vein of Tommy Wiseau.
Marco, leave me alone. You stop that.
Well, we never figured out where Tommy Wiseau is from.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Yeah, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
And then,
I didn't do it. I didn't hit her. Oh, hi, Mark. That's the accent.
Yeah.
and then Angelina told Bianca, he used to be so sweet.
That movie's
He
great.
messed up. He had a messed up childhood.
That part of the room where all of a sudden it's like there's a part in the room where they're on the rooftop, and all of a sudden like every character from the movie is on the roof, like running, like attacking each other. I almost fell on my chair.
How was that movie?
You've
great.
never seen it?
I have not seen it.
It is amazing.
I've not seen it.
These Lifetime movies could take a couple of lessons. If you're gonna do a bad movie, do The Room.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
You just
Everybody's
sold
like
it.
rushing. Everybody's like rushing somebody on the roof, and like the old ladies up. The woman who says she has terminal cancer, and then you never hear anything else about it.
So she just dances it, and then that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all. You only hear about it once, but she does appear in the rest of the movie, especially that rooftop.
Yeah,
scene
they never
randomly
acknowledge
appears.
it. There's when they were filming the movie, one of the actors got pissed off and quit. So they recast him with somebody else, but didn't reshoot his scene. So there's one role played by two actors in the same movie.
So it's like a Darren Stevens.
But like
Oh, I
in the
didn't know
middle
that.
of the same episode of Bewitched. Yes.
So is it like they turn to the other actor and you're thinking, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Yeah.
That's
It's wonderful.
funny.
Yeah.
Because that's why in soap operas they always go, the role of blah 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 is being played by. That's funny. Oh, so then Bianca is telling Angelina her background and how she had like abusive parents. They were messed up, but they would pick on her sister more than her. But they got out of there and they moved to their grandmother's house. But the sister named Amelia, they was still just messed up from it. And then their parents got killed in a car crash, both of them.
I see dead people.
And that really like threw her sister Amelia for a loop, and Amelia ended up taking her own life.
Yeah.
And then Gabby calls, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
okay,
so, because
Angela-
she and
yeah.
Gabby were talking,
Mm-hmm.
and she finds out why Marco was so jealous of Diego.
Right. And then that's when we find out that Diego, because up until this part, I thought Diego was Gabby's boyfriend. But then we find out that Diego is her coworker.
Yeah.
No,
So-
Bianca's listening. Bianca's got that baby monitor on. She's listening to the conversation.
Yeah. And she kind of gets annoyed at this talk of Diego, like who the hell is he?
Right. And then I wrote again a lot of baby voices in this movie.
Well, they did have.
And then-
Oh, that's why they had the baby monitor.
And
Yeah,
then,
see, it makes sense.
and then Angelina says, Gabby, do you want to go out for drinks? And then Bianca hears that too. So then we see the room. It's later that night. It's dark. Bianca sneaks into Angelina's room. She takes something. Then
It's that baby
Bianca
voice.
goes to
The baby-
Mario's house, and we discovered that Bianca took the keys to the house. Then she goes into the house, and there's no, the house is pitch black.
Mhm.
And she's sneaking around the house, and we discover that Marco is actually still at home.
Yeah.
And so I actually loved this part. So Marco's going to shoot her, and then she's like, listen, if you don't shoot me, I'll convince Angelina to give you another chance. And I wrote here, Marco is a dumbass. Because then she's like, oh, well, I'm actually Angelina's therapist.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk? So what's going on with you? And she gives him therapy. He starts talking to him.
Yeah. He starts talking.
I wrote in my notes, what period, the period, fuck period.
Right. And he's like having a therapy session, and she's like, yeah, okay. And she's like, I guess maybe she'd been through so much therapy that she knew exactly what to do.
I legit thought they were going to join forces for real.
I did too.
And I thought that would have been a great twist.
Because I thought it was going to end. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say, Kurt?
Oh, no. I think it would have been great if she, like, charged his insurance and she actually made some money.
Right.
Okay. That's a $200 copay today.
Yeah, it is a copay.
Because I totally thought that she was going to be like, okay, so Marco, you give me the ring and we can work together and I'll make sure she comes back to you. And then, you know, and then she'd have Marco to like do her bidding.
Yeah.
And then I wrote here, Marco is really dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, you know, he says it's Gabby's fault. This is all happening. And then she asks for a drink because Marco's drinking a beer. And she's like, well, can I have one of those? And then I love it because he's like, well, can I get you water? Can I get you juice? I'm out of beer. And so while he's like going to get her a drink, then she tries to stab him. He starts fighting back. And
she tries to hit him with some antlers.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, and then that didn't work out too well.
Right.
She didn't swing well.
And so then she hits him in the head.
Yeah,
with a wine bottle, I think.
Or something. Wine bottle. She goes, did she say, like, I'm tired of hearing about your childhood?
Yes, she did. Yeah, she said, I'm tired of hearing about your childhood.
But he's still, like, alive at this point. And then she's like, hey, what's the passcode for your phone? So I can call you an ambulance. And he gives it to her and she whacks him again.
She whined him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then and she gets the ring back, and then she goes and takes him to her spot where she disposes of bodies and throws his body
Which
in
was
the
like
water.
No respect for the ocean.
It was also
At
like a
least
really public parking lot. It wasn't like a hidden away spot where no one's really going to see it. Like,
Yeah.
just dump that body like on the Santa Monica Pier, basically.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh, wait.
it looked like she was in Venice or something.
Yeah.
No, is this a public pool that she was dropping the bodies in?
At a beach.
Yeah, it was a beach.
Okay. Dropping bodies in a public pool
But
would
yeah,
be hard to get away with.
but Kurt, like that whole area where they were, it's literally out in the open. It's
Yeah.
literally out in the public.
People everywhere, constantly.
Yeah.
Like, she was in a very well illuminated parking lot.
And it's
along
like
the beach.
day and night, people are there.
And she's dropping, and there's an ocean there. She's
Yeah.
dropping people.
Yeah.
In? Are the jellyfish?
Probably there's like needles and pollution in there.
Oh no.
So, and I wrote, she's a very efficient criminal.
Yeah.
Because she gets rid of her bodies right away.
No, the first one she didn't. First one she had sitting in the house a few days.
Oh, that's true.
Well, she's getting better.
She's like, oh yeah, if I get rid of it right away, it won't smell.
She's versatile.
Yeah.
So then the
skills,
next,
this woman.
right? The next morning, Bianca is asking Angelina, do you have any pictures like with your grandma or someone wearing the ring? Because if you do, then we can prove that, you know, it was your grandma's property.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Looks
she told
like
her I talked to the
Smeagol with
lawyer.
ring.
Yeah.
And so then Bianca's like, well, let's go out to celebrate. And Angelina's like, oh, sorry, I already have plans. And then Bianca's like, what? You cancel your plans. And Angelina gets the look on her face and she's like, well, why don't we, I'm going out with Gabby. Why don't you just come with us and we'll all go out together and hang out?
Yeah. And it should also be made clear that like she doesn't tell Angelina she's got the ring back yet.
Right.
This is probably one of my favorite scenes is coming up. I think we're there. They're in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And
which
boy,
is her student?
Dylan, he got accepted into an East Coast school. That's as much as they say. So did you get accepted to Harvard or University of Newark, or where exactly?
And he was
going,
very
young
excited
man?
about it. Because he was
Northern
basically
Virginia
like,
Community College.
he basically like essentially thanked her for saving him from taking his own life. And he's like, I got accepted to school on the East Coast, and things can change quickly.
Yes, they can. If you
Dylan,
know where
I'm
you go to
so
school.
proud of you.
At least he knows what direction to go in.
So then we see
East Coast University.
right an East Coast.
Oh, I know what's. Oh, you know what school he got accepted into? The Park Ranger School of Acting.
That's not possible. This trail's been closed for 8 years. It's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Good.
This movie, like I said, this movie was the Park Ranger School of Dramatic Arts. All of our students were, I guess that's part of the class. You get a lifetime movie when you graduate.
Yeah, that's their job placement program.
We'll get you a job at a major network.
He got accepted into the satellite campus of the University of Phoenix.
Right. Online.
Do you think when the students from the Park Ranger School of the Dramatic Arts come to LA, they stay at the Oakwood Apartments?
Of course, everybody stays at the Oakwood Apartments.
Is that famous place where all the actors would stay?
Yeah.
Like
It's got a new name. It's called something else now, but it was the Oakwood for many years. There's been a lot written about it as well. Basically, every kid for the past 30 years from Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, their families probably stayed there during pilot season.
And that's where they put the American Idol kids too.
Yeah, so it's a nice place.
No,
It's like it's a campus kind of setup. So there's different kinds of amenities there, and they've got literally acting classes on the campus, and there's recreation activities there. But depending on what level you pay for, you get access to more stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the Oakwood. It is funny because all the child actors you hear, like a lot of the child actors who have grown up, they're like, yeah, when I first moved here, I was at the Oakwood Apartments. So Angelina comes home from work. Bianca made Angelina a dress, and then this is when Angelina is like, okay, something weird. She gets this look on her face, okay, this is weird.
Yeah, she sews a lot.
She's frantically sewing that dress.
And then Angelina sees a drawing with
needles moving,
her face, and this outfit.
That's not too freaky.
But of course, what are you going to say if someone makes your dress? Angelina's like, well, thank you. It was very nice of you. So then Angelina and Angelina and Bianca show up at the bar where Gabby's waiting for them, and they're dressed alike.
Yeah. Bianca's dress was the same design as the red one, as the gold one, except it was in red.
And then Gabby, I love Gabby because Gabby's like, what the hell is going on? So they're talking.
She orders a bottle of champagne. Bianca orders a bottle of champagne with 2 glasses. She wasn't going to give any to Gabby.
I know. Gabby's like, 3, please. And then Bianca. So then Bianca at one point, because they're having, Angelina and Gabby are actually having a good time. And then Bianca gets up to go to the bathroom, and she's like, well, Angelina, are you coming? And Angelina's like, no, I'm going to continue talking to my friend. And Gabby, first of all, Bianca walks away. Then Gabby's like, what's up with the dresses? And then Angelina is like, well, she is weird. She does stare at me a lot. And then
this where Bianca, because she's got Marco's phone and knows the passcode, so she started texting Bianca as Marco, right? I mean, Angelina as Marco.
Right, with like threatening messages
Yeah.
and stuff.
Stomping on my heart.
Right. And like, what is it? Girls like you deserve to get what's coming to them. And so.
She scratched a car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she keyed it.
She keyed.
So then.
Diego shows up.
Right, because Gabby tells Angelina, oh, Diego's been asking about you. He likes you. And then he shows up. And this is where I was like, I like Gabby, because Gabby did her a solid. She's like, oh, okay, I'll go get drinks to leave them alone.
But then Bianca deliberately stays in cock blocks.
Right, because first Bianca like walks out of the bathroom and Gabby grabs her and says, hey, stay over here for a minute because Diego just showed up and he likes her, and so I want to give them a few minutes alone. She even offers to buy Bianca a drink, and Bianca's like, no, and goes over to cock block.
Mm-hmm. She's been nice to her, too.
And then so then Gabby then shows up to, since she sees the cock blocking happening, she then shows up too. So then Bianca goes outside and keys Gabby's car, which I would have been pissed at the bar, because it's like, I'm in valet and you let someone while it was in your valet come and key my car. You're responsible.
Yeah.
Because I think if you park yourself, you're responsible. But if you park if the valet parks your car, I think you can hold them responsible for your car getting ruined.
Was it valet though?
Yeah. Because I think
the car was in the same spot. I think when Bianca scratched it, it was in the same spot when they came out and found it.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was valet.
It would make sense in LA that it would be valet, but they probably didn't have it in the budget of this movie to have another person there.
So they come outside. Oh wait, is this the part where Bianca's like, so what do you do, Marco or Diego? And he's like, I'm a junior partner at my firm.
Yeah.
He does
an ad agency.
Right, and this proves how dumb Bianca is, because she's like, a junior, how cute. And it's like, being a junior partner at an ad agency is not that shabby.
Yeah, but she was trying to neg him so that he seems less desirable.
But he just kind of looked at her and was like, whatever. And he was so hot that Angelina was like, whatever.
Yeah.
He's a step up from Marco.
Hello.
So then they go outside. That's when they discover that Gabby's car has been keyed. Gabby's really upset. But then Marco was like, well, I have some stuff that I can bring over and maybe we can get it out.
He's got some rubbing compound.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got some of that too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's going to be bringing up some rubbing compound. That's a good follow-up.
And so then they're getting ready to go. And then Bianca's like, come on, Angelina, get in the car. And Angelina's like, hold on a second. And she walks off alone with Diego. And I like the fact that Diego was not going to let Bianca wreck shit. So Diego asks Angelina out. Angelina is like, hell yeah. And then they go home, and Angelina, or Bianca is telling Angelina, I just get a weird feeling about him. trying to put her off with him.
Bad vibe. She says that Gabby is fake.
Yeah.
And Angelina did not appreciate that.
And Angelina's like, we've been friends since high school. And especially, Gabby's done a lot for her in the past, however many weeks this is. And so she yells at her and then goes upstairs. And then Bianca went to her room and did some very bad crying.
Yes.
So then
Didn't feel real.
later, so like I guess it's so the next day, Angelina sees Bianca very briefly. She's really short with her. But then Angelina comes home and she sees the picture of Bianca and her sister. And so she starts to feel bad for her. So she writes her a note, you know, I'm sorry that we argued, you know, let's be friends. And so she writes the note. She takes the note upstairs. So I initially thought that she was going to snoop while she was in the room. But she did not.
She didn't have to.
So yeah, so she puts the note on Bianca's
dresser,
like nightstand or dresser, and then she hears she finds the thing, right? The monitor?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby monitor.
So she finds the baby monitor, and she had a radio or something going on in her room, and she hears the radio from her room coming out of the baby monitor.
Yeah.
So she knows there's something going on in her room. So she goes into her room, she starts searching all over the place, and then she finds the baby monitor under her bed. So then Bianca comes home. Angelina confronts her about it, and Bianca's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Angelina's like, well, you know, there's only two of us here, and there's baby monitor in my bed under my bed. And then Bianca's like, well, you know what? It was the old roommate. Like, she left it under there.
Yeah.
I was rooming with a baby.
Well, you are now. She talks like this.
She talks like this. And so
it just reminds me of every once in a while, Woody Allen will do an interview, and he shouldn't be doing it. And he'd say in an interview, like, oh, my marriage is kind of relationship is almost paternal. It's like, whoa, Woody, that's why you should be doing interviews. Keep your mouth. Don't do interviews. Don't do interviews. Just be quiet and let's not see you anymore.
Yeah. So then Bianca, Gabby goes to, or Angelina goes to to Gabby's house.
Yeah.
And they're laying out in the backyard, and Gabby's telling, Angelina's telling Gabby about the baby monitor, and Gabby's like, why didn't you just move back in with me? And then she's like, and anyway, my lease is, then Angelina was like, well, I'm going to get my own place. And then Gabby says, well, you know, my lease is up next month anyway. Why don't we just find a place together? And so then Bianca calls there, right?
Diego calls.
Oh,
Diego calls and sets his date with Angelina for that night. They're going to go do sushi in Marina del Rey.
Yeah, I like the state.
Yeah.
And so she goes home. So she goes home, and then she's going on her date, and Bianca's not happy about it.
Yeah.
So then they go to the sushi place, and they're having a good time, and he's like, you know, giving her sexy looks, and she's giving him sexy looks, and they're eating and chatting, and then he's like, Bianca's here. And she's like, what? And Bianca shows up, and she's like, guess what I got? And she gives her an envelope, and the ring is in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, the lawyer got it back, and isn't that great? And then Angelina is like really happy about it, and she's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Bianca she starts hitching. She's like, oh, is that yellowtail you're eating? And Diego's like, yeah.
She's dropping all kinds of hints
wanted
to stay. No, she wanted an invite to sit down.
Yeah. And
Why
also,
would she, if you were Bianca and you knew what you were throwing in the ocean, would you really want to eat fish?
Good point. Very good point.
You know?
Well, Angelina, I probably wouldn't actually be eating it herself because I don't know if you noticed in this scene, she,
Bianca, right? Or who are we talking about?
and I'm talking about Angelina. Angelina
Okay.
wouldn't be eating the sushi because she didn't actually take a sip of wine. She stuck the glass up to her mouth and like mimed that she was drinking, but didn't actually take any into her mouth.
Yeah.
You must be watching this on like 3D. You must have high def. You watching this on a TV?
Let's put it this way: it is sometimes high definition.
I bet.
You have extra sensory.
Oh,
experience.
I bet it's high definition.
Because I'm not picking up on this. I'm watching it on my laptop.
Yeah, you should watch it in high def, Kurt.
No, I'm watching this. I'm
Very
as sober as sober.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's
Sober
your
as
fault.
King Charles. He's sober.
No, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Then.
Right.
Well, I do blame myself.
but
Yeah, so she stands there. She stands there. She wants to be invited. She was a bite of the food, or she wants to be able to sit down. I don't think she was going to order anything either. I think she was just going to mooch off their
Right.
plates.
Oh,
She just
you're
wanted a
totally
cock
gonna mooch
block.
off their plate.
She didn't even want food. She just wanted a cock block.
She's like my mom's friend who years ago they all went out. She just sat there and ate rolls and didn't actually order anything. And we still remember this 50 years later.
What? Oh, really? So she's like,
It's
I'll
a
just
family-
eat rolls.
It's a family legacy now that her
Love
friend,
that.
my mom's friend, just sat at the restaurant and ate rolls, probably thinking nobody would remember. And here we are, like 100 years later, remembering this.
Right.
That's an interesting
Did you-
legacy.
I have to have children so I could pass this on to future generations.
Did she think that your mom was gonna buy her dinner?
No, I don't know. She just sat and didn't order dinner like everybody else. She just ate the rolls, and that was her thing. Nobody
She's
bought
like,
it
can
down.
I get some more rolls, please?
I mean, if it was
Sorry.
like Cheesecake Factory does have very good bread. You know, like some restaurants have very, very good bread.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I can make a meal out of it too.
I have a theory that you can tell how good the meal is going to be if the bread is good.
Oh,
I did that one time. It was terrible. I was like flat broke, and a bunch of people invited me to Elaine's. You know, Elaine's in
oh my God, really?
in New
Very
York.
expensive.
I was like, I can't afford this. So I ate dinner before I went because I knew I couldn't afford to order anything. And then I sat at dinner. And I was like, I'm not hungry. And then someone was like, well, you want some of this? I was like, I'm hungry all of a sudden. Embarrassing. They're probably talking about me too.
Are you going to like order a salad?
I don't know. Somebody gave me something. I could not afford to order anything.
Oh, so they really were not biting on Gabby and Bianca's hints, and they knew that what Bianca was doing because they kept on looking at each other, Angelina and Diego. And so finally, she's like, "Oh well, I guess I'll just go and have a hamburger." And they're like, "Have a good time, enjoy your burger."
And that's rough. If you haven't had a lot of red meat lately and you're going home having a big burger, it's got to be a little hard on the system.
But I like the fact that this did not sway Diego at all. Diego
No.
was like, well, that was weird. Your roommate's weird, but kept up the date.
Yeah, good for him.
So the date went well. Then Diego's like, well, I'd like to ask you out again. And Angelina's like, well, you know what? Let me plan it this time. Let me take you out. And he was like, well, okay, I still want to pay. So then he was like, well, why don't you plan the date and I'll still pay? I was like, aw, Diego, you're like really, you're really doing it. So then Angelina goes home and she's talking to Gabby, she's talking to Gabby on the phone. And Gabby's like, oh, I guess what? I found this place. And Angelina starts whispering, and Gabby's like, well, why are you whispering? And Angelina's like, well, I'm whispering because I don't know if she has another bug or something in my room. And Bianca's actually listening at the door. Yeah. So she's hearing all of it. And then she sends another mean text from Marco. And
got what you wanted. Are you happy now?
Right. So then she goes out, right? Or what happens?
Yeah, they're on a date. It's seemingly at Hollywood and Highland.
Right.
Which is the complex where the theater for the Oscars is, but it's also like a big touristy, there's a lot of like touristy kinds of restaurants around there.
And it's going well, and then all of a sudden, Angelina gets a call from Bianca, and Bianca's like, Marco's here at the house. And then Angelina's like, oh, shit. So she and Diego, because Diego's like, well, I'm not going to let you go by yourself. So she goes back to the house. It's really dark.
But they also called Gabby for some odd reason. There's no reason to call Gabby.
And so Gabby's like, well, I'm going over there too.
Also, just in terms of geography of LA, I think why I put Hollywood and Highland in my notes is they lived near the beach. Like if she was going for a run in Venice, they probably lived in Venice or Santa Monica. And if they're coming from Hollywood and Highland, and they're trying to book it there in a hurry because Marco's there, they're at least, with no traffic, they're at least 20 minutes away.
Yeah, so she would take the 101 to the 405 to the 90.
or maybe to the 10. Yeah, depending on what side of Venice she's on.
Yeah, exactly. So
just don't walk anywhere. That freaks people out.
And then Bianca, after she made the phone call, Bianca's like drinking wine, like laughing.
Well, I walked when I was in LA. I walked somewhere.
And then I think didn't Gabby say to Angelina, "What the hell are you doing?"
This is around where I did not get to finish the movie, as I told you guys before we started recording. So I need you to walk me through the rest because I don't know what happened at the end.
Because it was high definition.
Quickly.
Yeah,
it ends pretty quickly because then they go to the house, right? And Diego goes into the house. It's dark, and then Diego's walking around the house. Then Bianca sees Marco and stabs him.
No, Diego. She stabs Diego.
Marco's already dead.
She sees Diego and stabs him. I'm sorry. And then so Diego is like laying on the floor, and Bianca is telling Diego, she's my sister. And then she starts screaming like, oh my God, he's getting me, help. So then Angelina goes running into the house, and then Bianca says, oh my gosh, Marco stabbed Diego. And then Gabby shows up. And then we find out that Diego isn't dead, because it looked initially like he was dead.
This is becoming like a scene I was describing in the room where all the main people are on the roof all of a sudden.
Yeah. They tend to do that in these movies, though, don't they? They generally bring back the main players from the movie to just sort of give the whole thing closure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an early curtain call.
Yeah.
Bring up the whole cast, yeah.
So then when Gabby runs in, Diego's laying on the floor, but he's awake, and he's like, Bianca's the one that stabbed me. It wasn't Marco. So then Bianca's talking to Gabby, or to Angelina, and she's like, we're sisters. And then Gabby runs in the room too. So they're all three there.
And takes a bow. And then steps to the back.
So she's like, I'm not. So then she's like, we're sisters. And Angelina's like, I'm not your sister. And then all of a sudden the phone rings, and Angelina looks down on the ground and sees that it's Marco's phone. Mm-hmm. And so, then Angelina is pissed. So then Bianca and Angelina, was it Bianca and Angelina duking it out, or was it Angelina or Bianca and Gabby?
I believe, no, it was Bianca and Angelina. They're having a cat fight in honor of the cat.
Just duking it out. And then Gabby jumps in, right?
No, I have Gabby runs upstairs. She chokes Gabby. So I don't know how we transitioned to this.
Did Gabby do that weird run, that weird walk up the stairs?
Yeah.
Like the bouncy thing she did earlier in the movie?
She does a bouncy things. I like these ladies. Yeah, she's choking. I guess Bianca's choking Gabby, and she's saying she doesn't like you. That's pretty. Right. It's cold.
Yeah. And then
Angelina hits her on the head.
With what?
That's what happens. I don't know. Probably those antlers or whatever she had on hand.
Okay.
It made a noise.
Maybe the baby monitor.
That would have been a funny thing if they had done that.
So
it would
then,
be good if she looked around the house for something like ironic to hit her on the head with.
Right. Like the mannequin.
Baby monitor would be good. Yeah.
So then she's knocked out. She's on the floor. They call the police.
Irony in that moment.
They're like, the police, we're almost there. The police show up. So then it's a few months later, and Gabby and Angelina have moved in together. Because remember, they were moving to Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
So they're moving in together in Malibu. And then Diego shows up, and Diego's like, I like your new neighborhood and I like your new place because I'm going to be spending a lot of time here.
He'll be parking the pink Cadillac.
So then
no valet.
I love this too. So they cut to the Twin Towers.
Oh, the Twin Towers.
That's jail. That's the jail. It's called the Twin Towers.
Oh, I thought you meant like in New York. I was like, wait, what?
Isn't it in bad taste? There's a jail called the Twin Towers.
I think the Twin Towers was around long before.
It's not called. It was called Hall. I wrote it down. It was called Hallworth Women's Correctional Facility.
But in LA, it's actually called the.
The jail's called the Twin Towers.
I've never heard of this list. I actually didn't know that was a thing.
And it was a picture of the jail. It was a picture of the jail, of the LA jail.
Oh, okay.
And so. Did you notice, Kurt, that their jail outfits were awfully form-fitting?
Yeah, there were some lovely outfits.
Well, the budget probably on this movie, they probably couldn't get like actual prison uniforms, so they went to like a Spirit Halloween store, and all that was there was like sexy prisoner.
Well, get this, Jason. Their uniforms were not orange.
What color?
They were blue.
I feel like it depends on the prison, doesn't it? Although I guess blue would sort of blend in with the like cement and stuff a little bit better, where it might be harder to spot people when you're trying to look for them. So yeah, maybe they are always orange.
Because they were sexy. It was like they were sexy blue. Tight.
Well, they were blue during the spring, and they have different colors during different seasons.
Or maybe it wasn't a prison uniform. Maybe it was like a sexy janitor's outfit. They're like, it'll pass.
That'd be hot.
So
everything's clean.
You were to say something.
Can I tell a little story about prison? Because sometimes I read up on prisons. The other night I was reading prisons.
Yes, please, Kurt. Tell us a prison story.
I read prisons. I'll make it quick. So I was reading about the Supermax. The Supermax prison in Colorado. It's like the most maximum security prison. Okay. So it was this interview with this guy who actually got released from there, and he's like, "Yeah, I talked to," because you're never really supposed to get you're in like solitary confinement for like 23 hours a day. That's what they say. But he met people. He met like the Unabomber and all these people. He said, "How did you talk to these people? How did you talk to these people?" Yeah, because they're in there in that Supermax. El Chapo, he's in there. And so, like, how'd you beat these people? And he goes, well, there's a couple methods we use. One is you get a full toilet roll, and you put it on the sink, and you blow through the roll, and that gets all the water out of the drain, and then you can talk through the toilet roll, and you can talk to people through the pipes.
Wow.
I like that.
So it's like, hey, El Chapo.
You gotta
how
blow.
are you?
Yeah, that's right. You gotta blow through the thing first to get the water out. Then you talk, hey, El Chapo, how's it going in there? I'm good.
I'm great. How are you today?
Marco.
Polo. So that's how this movie should have ended. She should have been talking to a toilet roll.
And isn't that the prison version of a baby monitor, really?
Right.
It is. Hey, Ted Kaczynski, how you feeling in there? I'm
So
all right.
I got to tell you this. So she's sitting on her bed drawing, right? And then we look over at the bed next to her, and I got to say, Kurt, even I noticed her prison roommate was hot.
I'm telling you, this is a very heterosexual.
A beautiful
episode. It
blonde
should have been.
lady who looked like she was like, you know, out of like the pages of Vogue or something.
I'd talk to her through a toilet paper roll, I'll tell you that.
And so
High praise.
she's,
Well,
she's
yeah, I have a level of class I have to uphold.
but the roommate is sleeping. She's sleeping on the bed, but she's sleeping in like a sexy sleeping.
Yeah.
Like she's laying there like sexily sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Bianca finishes her drawing and she puts it on the wall, and the drawing looks exactly like the prisoner who's sleeping. So I guess that's going to be her new sister.
Yeah.
The end.
I thought you said high praise. I thought that was really funny.
You're
I was
welcome.
laughing about that for a minute.
Yeah, this movie was bad, but I really liked it.
I really enjoyed it. I actually
it was
did.
so bad, but I really liked it.
I enjoyed the experience.
Yeah,
Of it.
same.
Yeah, it was awful, but I enjoyed it.
Oh man.
So by the way, I looked at the Hallmark movies for next week, and the reruns. So,
Nothing
would you
new?
mind if we watched another Lifetime movie?
I'm fine with either.
Because I found a good one.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, what
And
are
it's
they?
on
What's this?
tomorrow.
What is it called? Let's hear the synopsis now and decide on the show.
It is called.
Get experience or process.
Yeah. This is how the sausage gets made.
Okay.
I wonder if we brought this up before. I was asking if anybody listened to our show who is in prison. If so, we just gave them
Please let us know.
a big lesson. Yeah,
And-
you yell it down the toilet, yell it down the drain. It'll come in. One of us will hear it.
Hold on. Let me see. Let's see if I would, because I was gonna email it to you.
Okay, we'll just send it later because
What's
Yeah.
What's the name of the show? Or do you have it? handy?
you can't find it.
Well, I can't.
Oh,
Let me hold on 1 second. Let's see. Lifetime.
For the wrong grandma or something
If it
like
were
that.
the
Oh,
wrong
it's not a wrong. Let's see.
No.
And now I can't find it. I'll find it. But it's
Killer.
it's a good old fashioned one like this.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
It's a good one.
Okay.
So let's watch that.
Okay.
And
Sure.
if you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram at Kirkendall or on my website, leskirkendallbarrett.com. Jason.
Please rate and review the podcast wherever you listen to us and give us 5 stars. It helps more people find the show. You can find all of us on Facebook and Instagram at Lifetime of Hallmark Podcast. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Big Shot Jason. Kurt.
I'm at kurtfitzpatrick.com. And of course, my show, The Jester of All Maladies, will be playing at Indy Fringe, Indianapolis, last week of August, I believe. I don't have the exact show dates yet, but it will be happening. Check your local listings.
And I know we have a lot of listeners in other countries. If you happen to be listening to us from Prague, I am going to be doing my show, The Real Black Swan, Confessions of America's First Black Drag Queen, as part of the Prague Fringe Festival at the Museum of Alchemists, May 20th through the 27th. And if you want to find out more information, just go to PragueFringeFestival.cz. And if you happen to live in New York, I'm going to be doing that same show as part of the Queerly Festival for Pride Month, June 18th, June 19th, and June 24th, which means I'm going to be there for New York Pride. On the 25th.
Amazing.
And I'm very excited because I've never been.
I might go to that.
Kurt, meet me at New York Pride.
Yeah.
I'll show you a good time.
Take him the Monster.
You'll have fun.
On second thought.
That would be like
afternoon?
my ultimate. That would be like my ultimate feat. I brought Kurt Fitzpatrick to a gay pride festival.
Well, I did go to the Halloween parade years ago.
But that's not a gay. I mean, it's very gay friendly, but it's not a gay event.
Oh, Pride is like Halloween, all right.
Trick or treat. Well.
Oh, there are some
on
tricks
second
and
thought.
treats.
Yep.
I'm going to have to skip this.
Anyway.
Live stream.
I gotta go because I gotta go out. So I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.